You are listening to the Dr. Cage Collection, written by Grayson Ace, narrated by Chase Johnson, published by Four Horsemen Publishing Incorporated. Copyright Grayson Ace 2020 to 2023. All rights reserved. Book 1. How I Got Here.
Prologue. Hi, I'm Hunter Cage. Well, actually, it's Dr. Hunter Cage. I'm a sex therapist, and I specialize in assisting gay men cope with their desires and fantasies and help them to understand why they are the way they are. Everyone thinks one of two things. A gay man chooses to be gay, or he was born gay. In reality, there could be so many other things that cause a man to be gay. I grew up in a very small town in rural Pennsylvania called Intercourse. No, I couldn't make that up if I tried. Let's just say my upbringing greatly shaped who I am today, but we'll get more into those details a bit later. I opened my practice in the Castro district of San Francisco a few years back. I wanted to go to an area where I could make the biggest impact on gay men and figured, what better place to do this than the gay capital of the U.S.? My office sits on a very busy street, but I had a reflective covering installed on all of the windows, allowing for privacy during therapy sessions. These windows have many stories to tell. These chronicles will walk you through the lives and events of many of my patients, as well as myself, all names and locations being changed to protect their privacy. But before we get into any sessions, it's important to take you back to where things all began and show you what shaped me, Dr. Cage. Chapter 1. Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Intercourse is a small rural town about 2 hours outside of Philadelphia. It's one of those towns where a gay man wouldn't be caught dead in any type of public display of affection. Quite honestly, it's the type of town you would imagine being the backdrop of many hate crimes. I grew up in a pretty average white-collar American family. My dad worked for a union fiberglass company. I think he may have been the foreman or union steward, one of those important positions. He was very proud to be a union member, but even prouder to be an American. He always worked on special projects on Saturday mornings to get overtime. My mom didn't work, except on Sundays, where she would teach Bible lessons to the children at church. After church, though, she would join her friends for her weekly book club meetings. I always wanted to go with her, but she said the book topics would bore me. My brothers and I were her world, and there wasn't anything that she wouldn't do for us. My parents seemed to have a perfect marriage. Either that, or they were really good at hiding their problems from us. I have 2 brothers. Rocky is 2 years older than I am. He was a typical jock. He worked out every night and had the perfect muscles to show for it. I swear my mum would catch him almost weekly sneaking a girl into his room. Harry's 2 years younger than I am. He was a bit of a dork and super shy. He aspired to work for a union just like my dad and would pretend to build machines just to have something to relate to my dad. My brothers and I didn't spend a lot of time with each other because we really didn't have anything in common. Rocky was always chasing girls, and Harry would read books about machinery. We didn't have any air conditioning in the house, and the summers could get pretty hot, so I'd spend the majority of my time in the basement family room. I remember walking down into the basement one day and seeing my dad in the corner behind the built-in bar. His back was facing me, and apparently he didn't hear me come down the stairs, which I'm not sure how. There was a shelf built into the wall behind the bar where the water meter was, and I noticed him reaching up into the rafters. But there wasn't anything in his hands when he pulled them down. He turned around, and I quickly acted like I wasn't paying attention and said, "Hey, Dad, aren't you supposed to be at work?" He looked at me with a bit of a grin and responded, "Yeah, son, I'm about to go in." Of course, he was about to go in. It was Saturday, so time for that overtime. My dad walked up the stairs, and I sat down on the couch, staring at the corner behind the bar. I was dying to know what was up in the rafters, but I knew I needed to wait until he left. A few minutes later, I heard his truck pull out of the driveway. I darted for the corner and started looking up into the rafters. I couldn't see anything, and I was too short to reach up there, so I stood on one of the bar shelves and hung onto the molding of the wall, reaching my hands into a small, dark crevice in the rafter. I was a little hesitant, not knowing if something would jump out and bite me. I felt around for about 10 seconds when my hand landed on something plastic. Bingo, I thought.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?